G'day, Steve from gridknives.com. No Kerri. Kerri's not buying into this one. I'm sitting out catching that sunset. I got Mr. SpewTube playing best of the 70s. And I was actually just sitting here thinking about a lot of stuff that I've seen over 2017, alright? 2017 has been a good year for us, been a good year for a lot of people. But as I focused down on the fruit trees, I thought I'd actually stick a quick video up. Now, this comes with a disclaimer. If you have young children sitting in the room listening to your computer, please send them out the room. Because you know what? I'm going to use, as I did way back a year ago with my first videos, going to use some rather, how would you put it, colourful adjectives. This is to do with, a little bit to do with what does it take to go off grid, how much it takes to go off grid, what effort it takes to go off grid, and all of that stuff, alright? I'm going to make this short, so I'm going to be a 5-minute one. So your fucking bandwidth, see that? That's why I told you to send the kids out the room. What does it take to fucking go off grid, you know? How much cash does it take? We get people put up all manner of stuff, you know? Expandable houses, European friggin' monoliths that friggin' blow out to $300,000 builds. We get people who've got like $300,000 in the bank. And look, all those people are good people. They go off grid, but you know how they go off grid? They go off grid with a checkbook, right? And that is nothing against them. They go off grid with a checkbook. The difference between the people that go off grid with a checkbook and the people that go off grid struggling are the ones that go off grid struggling have to actually pick the shovel up, pick the screwdriver up, pick the hammer up. How's that sun? It's going down. Beautiful afternoon. This is the first day of 2018. The first day. So I actually thought I'd chuck this up just for a bit of a gag, really. Not a gag. It's very serious. But on the first day of 2018, I really wanted to start my video thing up with a video similar to what I put up in 2016, which was, hope the kids out of the room, but you know, fuck it. There's some freaking hard yards to be done. Videos come up all the time, people cut and paste. They do all the, you know, forward, you know, they put all sorts of great stuff up. It's great stuff. But most of it requires a checkbook that I can only dream about. You may have, and that's all good, but most haven't got. So what does it take to go off grid? You know, first thing, and this is directed to the new people mostly, but first thing is, you need to be able to pick that fucking shovel up. You need to be able to fucking know what that drill does. You need to know where to put the fucking nail in. And you need to be able to pull all that together. It's called implementation. And this is the thing that's missing in a lot of people's posts. They go, yes, we're going to. And they put up expandable houses, tiny house fucking stack builds, earth ships that cost about 300,000 bucks. Fuck me, I mean, fuck. I can't actually say the word fuck often enough, man. This shit really gets out of control. It doesn't get out of control for the people with a big checkbook, and that's good. That's good. If you get a big checkbook, turn the fucking thing off, because this is going to make no sense to you. So you turn it off. But if you want to sit back with a few bob in your pocket and go off grid and listen to Nutbush City Limits on your own 3 kilowatt solar, hammering all the nails in, screwing all the screws in, putting your own solar together, well then maybe you want to listen to it. All the rest, I really hope you've sent the kids out of the room, but I really hope the rest listen. This stuff is really, really serious. Too many people live under what a lot of psychologists would call a delusion. The delusion is what comes from watching too many videos. I'll blame Kerri for that. But the delusion comes from that. And the delusion is that anyone can do it. Guess what? You might be able to cut a check for $300,000 and do it. That's all good. But if you haven't got $300,000 to cut the check for a shitload of people to come in where you just go, oh, fucking kumbaya, you're here. Oh, we're getting a good track coming on. I'm listening to best hits of the 70s. But yeah, on the first day of 2018, I really did want to put this up. Sitting in my outdoor kitchen, focusing on the sunset, I really did want to put a quick one up, which is, I put videos up about the good, bad and the ugly. This is the ugly. And the ugly is you may have to go kung fu fighting. Yeah. Steve's a dickhead. But guess what Steve is? Steve and Kerri actually pick up the shovel, we pick up the drill, we pick up the hammer, and if we didn't know how to do it, we learned how to do it. The big difference between off-gridders that do that, or have that basic fixed within their budget. And like I said, if you're sitting there with $350,000 in the bank, you know, fuck off. In the nicest possible way. I didn't actually mean that. But that's a relativity. This is the ugly. The ugly is most people to get to sit and watch the sunset. If you're in the urban, you know, you're in an urban setting, you've got your $500,000 house, or you got your flat that's worth 500 grand, or whatever the fuck it is, you know. Yeah, you're going, oh fuck, I can buy the solar, I can buy the tanks, I can do everything, and you can just lean on Kerri and Steve and their website and their support website and a million others, and you can just cut the fucking checks. Well then I hope I fucking... No, I'm getting deep. I hope you actually are very successful. But most people can't do that. Most people have to worry about whether they can actually use the shovel, use the drill, know where to dig, what to dig, how to mark it out, and go through all that stuff. And this is directed to those people, alright? You really need to stop and do some serious research. If you're going to try and put an off-grid property together with pennies, you need to know, after you've watched all the videos and after you've read all the websites, you really need to understand that yourself, your wife, your kids, whatever, you're going to need to implement. Implement is a bitch. Implement is the sort of thing that actually fucks up. Yeah, see? I told you to send the kids out the room. Implement is the sort of thing that fucks up most people. They had to think, they've done the research, but you know what happens? They can't pick the fucking shovel up. They have to cut a check. So if you have the checkbook, that's good. But if you haven't, you really need to stop and sit back and go, can I implement? We built a couple off-grid properties, and implementation takes a shitload of effort. I've actually got videos up on that. But anyway, for the first video for 2018, I thought I'd whack this one up. Listen to a bit of music from SpewTube on our 3 kilowatt system. Watch the rest of the videos. We've done a heap of stuff in the last 12 months. And you may not need to do it. You may just be one of those people, like only a couple of days ago a video went up with people who built a mud brick home that was the size of a small assembly hall. And they did it with the help of about 50 people. And they cut a check for about $350,000 to build it, and they got the land given to them. That's fucking good, alright? Seriously, that's fucking good. Most people aren't down that road, alright? Most people can't afford to buy the land, which means they're going to pull up first day, pull up on the fucking block, and they won't. The gate hinge is broken. That poor guy has never used a drill. If you're one of them people, has to figure out how to fix the gate. They have to figure out where to go after that. They pull up on the block, and finally after fixing the gate, we've got no water. They need to know what to build, how to build, where to do it, how to do it, and that's all going to cost money. And unless you've got a uni trade, you know, like a tradie or a ute full of tools, you're not going to be able to do it, right? You really got to stop and think about this before you pull yourself out of your flat or your $500,000 property in the burbs. You really need to think about this, or you're going to be one of these, and I'm going to say it, right? This will probably piss a few people off, but you're going to wind up one of these people who just stand there and they actually have a title for them. They call them site managers. Fuck me. Yes, well, you may be one of those people, and I'm happy for you. I've done site management, alright? I'm a tradie of 40 years. You may be one of those people, but if you're not, and you sent the kids out the room, you really need to think really, really deeply about this, because you may wind up with your perfect patch of dirt and no ability to implement, which means all the promises, if you're a guy, all the promises you made to your missus are going to go out the fucking window. You're going to be standing there on a beautiful afternoon having a cup of tea, singing Kumbaya around the fucking fire, and your missus is going to want to know where this building's going to come from, where the water's going to come from, where the solid's going to come from. And you need to really fucking think deeply about that before you drag your whole family into a full-blown off-grid existence, alright? And yes, qualification again. If you got the $300,000 checkbook, wow. You'll sit there in your fucking nice clean threads, in your fucking deck chair, with your can. Missus has cooked a barbecue and fucking kumbaya, everything's great. Well, that's good for you people. I really do like that, if you have that capacity. But for all the rest of you, really, really be careful. Really be careful. Because some shit may come your way that you won't be able to implement. That was 3 times. It might have been 4. Alright. That's the end of this one. It's a short one. From Steve and Kerri from off-the-grid.com. People who do it themselves. We pick the drill up. We use the hammer. We dig our own holes. We don't cut big checks. And we don't hang shit on people who can actually sit back and do that. Some days I actually think I would like to have that checkbook. Really seriously. That's that sunset. It's going down. It's beautiful. First day for 2018. Thought I'd put... You want to try and talk into a video for 10 minutes. Actually dries your throat out. But yeah. The first day of 2018, me and Kerri, look, we run into this all the time. This is not like, oh, you go, oh, Steve's just talking shit. Steve is well versed at talking shit. Well versed meaning like 10, 15, 20, 30 years, whatever, however far you want to go back, you know. We have history. History means we've actually picked the shovel up. We've actually dug the hole. We've drilled the hole. We've painted the timber. We've built the life. And we now sit in our little garden, in our outdoor kitchen, watch the other videos. We sit on our 3 kilowatt powered block, off the grid, totally off the grid. So we do come from some solid ground. But I like the patches all on the back. How's that? And no, I won't edit the coughs, okay? The coughs just come free of charge. Anyway, hope your 2018 is good. I really do hope, whether you've got a checkbook or not, you implement your plans. But if you haven't got the checkbook, really think deep, right? The good, the bad and the ugly to do with off the grid has a very ugly side. The ugly side is really the implementation, and that can actually be a bitch for a lot of people. I see all too many people, Kerri and myself, see all too many people who try to do it and they fall over. They only fall over because they drove their car into the driveway, and even fixing the fucking gate just went west. It all became too hard. Don't let it become too hard. I really like the people who haven't got the checkbook to actually stop and take a good hard think, do the research, lean on people like me and Kerri and a million others that are out there. and bring your own plans to fruition. Doesn't matter whether it takes 1 year or 5 years, doesn't matter. And if you've got $300,000, I hope you sent your kids out of the room and turned the fucking video off. Cheers from Steve and Kerri from offthegridnoise.com. 2018 first video with all the all the colourful adjectives. I'm going to leave it at that. Hope your day was good. Hope you're thinking positive. I just really want you to have a deep think, alright? This is for the newbies. I'll actually title it for that. Alright? Cheers, Mus. We'll catch you on the next one.